Metals. 2/3 of the periodic table are elements that are metals. Planes, trains, automobiles, you name it, they're made of metals. And to make all of these things work, and even more, including things like a bridge, you have to somehow figure out how to get metals to stick to other metals. So one way is you could use a fastener, but fasteners break and sometimes they leak because there's holes. You could use glue, but glue sometimes fails. Or the third way is you could weld. Now to weld, you need a couple of things. First of all, you need a heck of a heat source, because what it does is it basically melts the metal, changes the phase, and you put a filler metal in there as well. So if you do it right, the joint that you've made could be almost stronger than the metal itself. So you're gonna need a heat source, you need the filler metal, but then you need something, what's called a shield. Why? Well, if you look at this, okay, this is a metal that rusted. Now, when you heat that metal in welding, it's gonna react. It's gonna react with the oxygen in the air, and the more you heat stuff in general, the faster the reaction. By putting in the shield, it's really a chemical shield, you can protect it from the oxygen. And that chemical shield in some things like MIG welding is argon. Argon, fun chemistry, is a noble gas that doesn't react with anything. It's a great chemical shield. So if you want to become a welder, there's a couple ways you can do it. Number one, you need to be safe. Number two, you can go ahead and take a class, which I highly recommend if you're even thinking about it. Or number three, find someone who is a pro at what they do and talk to them. That's what I did. So let's go ahead and meet Tyler. Okay, so we're at Flowtech in Westchester, and I'm talking to Tyler, who not only works on cars but loves to weld. So Tyler, can you tell us something about yourself and how you got into welding?
Well, my name is Tyler. We're here at Flowtech Customs Exhaust in Westchester. I first started welding when I was about 15 years old. Come here to see my dad and visit him, and he'd show me things along the way. And just slowly but surely just taught me how to weld.
Okay, so what is it the thing that you like most about welding?
I just like when you're in the middle of a weld, you just kind of clear your mind and focus. So basically, you just kind of, for me, all my worries just go away, and I just focus more on the weld, just trying to get it as precise as possible. And it's just kind of fun. It's almost like artwork. It's just about.
So there's a million different ways to fasten metal to metal. Why would you weld as opposed to like screw or glue or something?
So you weld, you can guarantee like no leaks or anything like that, versus like a clamp or a screw, where over time they'll slowly just get looser and looser and eventually just break apart. Where the weld, they always hold together, and just more solid of a seal.
Cool. Okay, so what would be some like basic things you would need to get started to do?
Well, basically, I mean, you can start off with a cheap, like if you go to like Harbor Freight or something, you can start off with a cheap welder there. You can get one for like $100 or so, and you just need a little bit of gas. And really, it's really easy to, especially MIG welding. That's mainly what I do. So I mean, MIG welding is really easy to get started and cheap for sure.
Cool. We are now in the garage with Tyler, and this is a MIG welder. So Tyler, if you could give us a little more information about it.
So yeah, it's just like our older MIG welder. We got this one and a brand new one over there. So really, it's very simple. If you look here, there's a wire speed. You can just kind of control it to get more speed if you need it, and then more heat to kind of weld better. All this stuff we really don't touch. You really don't need to mess with that too often. And if you look in here, this is probably the most simplest welding to learn. You just hit the trigger, just like this.
Yeah.
And you can see it just feeds the wire through there.
Got it.
Very simple. And all you need is a ground when you're hooked up to like this exhaust pipe, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then basically you can just weld away.
Okay, so this wire, is that copper by any chance, or is that some kind of metal, like some kind of alloy maybe?
What kind of
or steel
wire is this?
I think it's a copper nickel, it should say on it.
Yeah, that's what
So it's like an alloy?
Yeah,
To make sure.
I forget.
It's been so
Oh,
long.
it's
been
just a
so
mild,
long.
yeah. So like this, they just have different numbers and stuff like that for the different, like this is steel.
Steel.
And then
Okay,
we
so
have
mild steel.
like a stainless wire down here.
Okay.
That you can tell the difference in.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it's just a different type of metal.
That's for welding a true stainless like system versus like the aluminized steel that we usually do.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, and I guess the nice thing about the wire coming out is that you don't have to feed it, you just hit the button.
Exactly. So like I said, that's why MIG's is most simple, is because you can just kind of lay the pipe down, which I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
And just kind of just focus on laying a nice straight feed.
Great.
Versus stick where you got to focus on feeding it and TIG welding like that. So
Okay.
So yeah, just want me to weld on this one? Or?
Yeah, you can look at yeah. Any of us is fine.
So yeah, and when you're welding, you always want to wear a helmet, and it'll hurt your eyes if you stare at it for too long. So
Okay.
So yeah, basically for our welding cart, we really have to hook directly up to the cart here, or the pipes here. We hook up to the cart and it kind of electrifies it anyways.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
And basically, all you gotta do is just weld away
Cool.
after you adjust the helmet from the small guy's head. So, what I did there, that was kind of a little gap filling technique.
Okay.
So when it's not perfectly all the way together, all I did was, when you're welding, all I did was went back and forth like that. It's called
Okay.
stitch welding.
Okay.
And it kind of fills the gap in, and you can see how nice it kind of lays it down in there.
Oh, yeah.
Versus like if you just kind of weld it, it'll just kind of bubble up and everything like that. So.
Cool.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
MIG's pretty simple to learn, pretty easy to learn. And if you're trying to learn more about welding, that's definitely the way to start off. Is
Great.
with a MIG
All
welder.
right.
So.
All right.